Good day everyone, and welcome to episode 4, season 2 of our series on Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. And we're back in the wonderful town of Svets today, looking out from our vehicle depot, watching the industry of our brand new town firing along. We've got truck issues sorted out. The buses seem to be going well. Our farm is actually sowing its first big field, so that's going along pretty well. The only thing that doesn't seem to be happening, and we might just whiz up here for a second and have a look, is that we don't seem to be able to get people to go to work. The number of sellers, 2. And over here we've got 2. So they just don't. And of course in here we've got unemployed people. 14, half the population, half the working population of that apartment block is unemployed, and a little over half in this one are unemployed. So I don't really know. They're going to the bus stops, but they don't seem to want to go get a job. Although now it's telling me that there are people waiting, but they're not the same as workers. So I don't know. So anyway, our bus is coming in. Let's see what's happening there. Where is our bus? There he is. And again, picked up 2 workers. Been picking up 2 workers for quite a number of episodes now, so not quite sure how that's all going. Our sawmill got 2 workers, and we've got no workers in there. Well, that's just great. All right, well, hopefully they'll get going soon. Now, today we need to do something about the fact that we are going to complete sowing this field very soon, and then we're going to be doing some growing, and then we're going to be doing some harvesting. So my plan would be that when the growing starts or gets underway for this field, we're going to put another field in and start the sowing process on that field, so that we have crops being produced all the time. We don't end up with a whole lot of them in storage. However, having said that, crops will inevitably lead us down the path to food. Well, you would hope it would, because if it doesn't, it's going to lend us to the whole concept of starvation. So I think that's another thumbnail, actually. Actually, you know what we could do? We could make thumbnails out of the growth of our town. That seems like a pretty clever idea, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, let's just zoom down there and then come back out here a bit. There you go. Look at that. How's that for a thumbnail? I like it a lot. All right, everyone, that's the thumbnail. We might even be lucky and get a bus in there. Look at that. Okay, so I think in this episode, what I would like to do, because we're going to stay with our agricultural theme for a little while anyway, I would like to look at putting in a food processing factory. Now, I'm tempted. Now, actually, I'm not tempted at all. We have to make a decision, and that is, what is our town going to look like going forward? And I think we will need to keep, I'd like to keep the, you know what? I would like to keep the food, is it a food factory? Gosh, I can't even remember what they called it now. Yep, it's a food factory. There you go. I'd like to keep the food factory close enough to our bricks and mortar residence so that the guys who work there can actually walk to work. That's what I'd like to do. So I'm going to actually try and do that, but what I might do, actually, you know what? We've got, well, that's not a lot of money, is it? Well, it's 9 million. It's not a shabby amount of money. Let's go and fix up some of our blocks here for a minute. Because what I'd like to do is get this guy attached to the food production facility and see how we go getting our workers some actual jobs, which would be nice. And I think from memory it was flats brick, but I would like to see if there's a developer watching. No, that's the wrong one. I would like to see some more identification of the actual structures, if that were possible. It's not a big deal, but I'm just saying if it were possible, it would be nice. I'm going to put you there, and I'm going to run that road. Oop, well, it'd be good if I called it a road, wouldn't it? Run that road from... What do you mean some other infrastructure is in the way? You're in the way. There you go. Right, and that's what we're going to do first off, so we'll just do that. Here we go. Building a new apartment, or a block of flats, not an apartment block. Boom. Right, now I want to remove you, so I want all your citizens to be relocated. Relocate up to 10 citizens. Relocate up to 5. Invite. You building no, I'll put it from the front. 10 to there. 10 to there. 6, 4, and go. Okay, stop. Okay. Now, can I demolish you? It appears I can. And so that is what we will do. Oh, look at the dust clouds. Whoa, unhappiness of citizens. That's what I call that. All right, so what we're going to do down here, if I can line this up so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's a bit better. Right, now let's get it so that when the boys and girls want to date each other, they can just walk between the buildings and date each other. Right in the middle of the road, and then, no, don't want you there. We want to get rid of you, actually. Oh dear. Well, I didn't want to get rid of the road. You know, like I just wanted to get rid of... Now, this is where the problems start. Because... Cancel road. Because... you can't put infrastructure, certain types of infrastructure in when there's other types of infrastructure there. It's actually a little annoying. You know what, I'm not even going to bother going across there just now because we're going to redevelop that area anyway. So we'll just leave that where it is. And what I think I would like to do is build our citizenry up around here. Now, what are we doing over here? Oh, we got a power supply. So that's actually pretty good. Let's just check this out and see where we might end up if we go ahead and do this. Where's farming? Have I lost farming? I've lost farming. Grocery store, no. Food factory, yes. You are big, aren't you? You are. Holy dooly. I want you to walk to work. That's what I want. We may need to, so I want to leave enough space, because we could put, we can run a train line out of there too. All right, hold on. If we run trains, where do we want the trains to go? Who's got a train line? You've got a train line. So if we run trains, we come down here to, yep, we could do that. So maybe we want to put it over here. Where can you reach? Show me where you can get to. You can't get to there. But there's a bus stop. There's a bus stop. And what's the range of the bus stop? Pretty good. All right, new plan. We're not going to let them walk to work, but we are going to encourage the... oh no, we can't, because we won't be able to get the trains down there. And it will interfere with the forestry area, which it will interfere with anyway when we bring it down here. But I don't think they're replanting the trees, you know, because it's looking awfully like denuded is the word I'm looking for. I wonder if there's anything in there that you can seed bush, seed poplar. We'll just have a quick look at this for a minute. Food and crops related. Nope. What's that? Grain storage. Grain storage doesn't take power. It's not in Australia. It's called silos. You just stick grain in it. Certainly not construction related. Sawmill. Open space storage, clothing factory. No, nothing in there that looks like it's going to regrow. All right. We're going to put it there, and if we have to move the power lines, we will, he said, somewhat hesitantly at first, but growing more accustomed to the idea as the game progresses. But you know what, if you were, well, that was pretty kind of good. So it can get power from two sources, so that's all right. We can remove you if we have to, reroute you. I'm going to bring you all the way down here, actually. Can't build you to infrastructure. I hate it when it lies to me. I might move it a bit more this way. Sure, why not? We could do that. Could we? Yes. Okay, hold still. So just pretend that we put some bulldozers in there and we got a food factory going on. There you go. So we've got a food factory happening. So the reason I'm building a food factory, apart from the fact that I want to feed the citizens of the Republic with food produced by the toil of the Comrades, I also want to be able to export it. And I think I can get a good price for food as opposed to crops. I mean, we may be able to export crops as well, but I feel that we probably get more money for food than we would for crops. Our bus, our bus just tried to overtake that truck down there. I don't know if anyone saw it, but it tried to overtake the truck and then had to stop because the truck beat it. It was pretty good. That was pretty good. All right, let's put some road in. Everyone likes a good bit of road. And the beauty of this road is that it provides footpaths for workers. Does that really not connect to all the way into the factory? No, it doesn't. Okay, well, okay, that's fine. If it's happy being there, I'm happy for it to be there. So, no resources, missing crops yet. And suddenly it's got 4 workers. I mean, I'm beginning to wonder if you are not supposed to build your residences very close to and around your factories. Beginning to wonder that. So, we have power. Now, where can the workers get to? Oh, everywhere. That's great. Okay, that's fine. All right. So the main issue now is going to be getting this field ready. Oh, where we are. Oh, the growing process is growing. Let's just pause that for a minute. Because now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of the party. This is where we start turning into an agricultural juggernaut. Is there a front to this thing? Yeah. I think we want the road, near the road. Oh, look at that. Look at even that for moreness of that. I'm going to bring it up the front just to save a bit of space, but look at that. That's fantastic. So one thing our republic is going to be is a powerhouse of agriculture, he said, knowingly. Did he say that knowingly? He probably did say that knowingly. And if he didn't say it knowingly, he meant to say it knowingly, because knowingly is what we do with this stuff. Now, we just need to check out that you can get really. Oh, of course there's no forward and there's no, we have to build the road in first to make sure it can actually get there. Let's try that again. Oh, yes, it gets there. It's 324 meters. You know what? I'm okay with that. Now, I think we had to assign a field, right? Oh, is it automatically assigned? I don't like that. I thought that was all green. Oh, look at that. It automatically assigned the field. Oh, cool. Okay. Well, they're not going to be in 4.81. 4.81. Well, we'll find out. Anyway, we've got 2 big fields, and we can employ 500 people. And because we can employ 500 people, I wonder if we should build a block of flats down there. Whoa, he's full, 40 out of 40. You're full as well. Wow, okay. You're not, well, no, you got 28. Well, that's still not bad. But I wonder if we, nah, we shouldn't do that. Should we? Nah, we shouldn't. Definitely not. But I'm curious to see 1 worker. That's great. Well, oh, I know what we haven't done. Let's send. Now, these are all going somewhere. Yep. That one's going there. This one's going to the grocery store and the small store. And this one, let's send all of this guy to the bus stop. Because that's where citizens need to go. They need to go to the bus stop and work 24 hours in our collective farms. That's what they need to do. We've got 2 assigned fields, and everything is all right with this farm, according to Comrade Collective Farm Manager. Comrade Collective Farm Manager. Right. Now. The question is, do we raise another field? I think the answer is yes. I think that's exactly what we do. Ooh, look at that sowing. Well, it's going well. Okay, well, we're all happening. Now, that's going on. Now, we spent quite a lot of money building this thing, but it's not working. But we got a worker. So at some point we're going to need to transport. The warehouse can store up to 136 tons, and the field will make... Actually, that's another good question too. How much will the field make? Going back to the information and checking out food and crops related. Maximum number of workers, 200, but it doesn't say how big the crop harvest is going to be, or does it? No, it doesn't. So the only time we get the tonnage and storage is when we get to here, and it will store 100 and auto search for what? Oh, auto search for fields. Oh, nice. Okay, it's got the power. Right. Okay. All right. So that's what's going on there, and our next production will be this wonderful thing here, which is called crops from food comrades. I think we want to start looking at the next area of our advancement. Now, we got a couple of unknowns. The first unknown is we're not really sure how much mechanisms working for this farm, how much food this guy can make from these fields that we've put in. That's one thing that's going on. Another thing that's going on is how many fields can one farm handle? It would appear more than 2, and the issue would be, I think you have multiples if 2 fields need to be cultivated or sown, then harvested at the same time, and then I'm betting there's only one truck that works a field at a time anyway. So maybe what we need to do is have a look at food. Food takes in crops, right, but meat is separate. Meat is separate. Meat needs a slaughterhouse and it needs a storage facility. Does it really? And it stores 75 tons of meat. But there's no storage for the food factory. Why not? And we need alcohol. 32,000 rubles for a distillery. Meats, whoa, look at meat. Look at alcohol. Well, pub. I reckon, and I may be wrong, but I reckon you could do a pretty good business making booze. Maximum number of workers, 100. Whoa, that's a lot of workers. 170 there. It takes 100 to make. Well, you know what? Why not? It takes 30. Okay, let's see if we can work this out. Maximum number of workers, 100. Maximum production per day is 6 tons of alcohol. It takes 30 tons of crops, 10 megawatt hours of power, is that what it takes? 30 tons of crops to make 6 tons of alcohol? Seriously? 30 tons of crops to make 6 tons of alcohol, and this guy stores 136. Well, if it goes into a distillery, it'll be stirred. But then we get the pub, and that takes 7.5. It says warehouse 7.5 because it can store 7.5 tons of alcohol. Really? So just over 1 day's production from the distillery. It depends how many people you've got and how long it goes through. But we can export it. I like the idea of making alcohol, and it's also making crops, which is the same thing we're doing now. So we use the same farm, and we just make a lot of crops. Oh, I can see this being really good. And I can also see the fact that the medium field now, we might go, oh, look at that. How many mediums are there in a... Yeah, okay. Not quite 3. 2 1/4, 2 1/2 medium fields. But we could certainly put the medium fields in here. Make this an agricultural district. That way when our comrades across the border decide to invade us, they can just trample over our fields and we won't hold their tanks up. Whoop! Who said that? Well, I didn't say that. So yeah, that's what we could do. We've got the bus stop. So we've got, actually, you know what? We've got employment here for 500 people. There are no workers in the field. Well, do you actually need workers in the field before you harvest? I don't know, because it seems to work even without there being workers in the field. I think I need to see if there's a dev streaming of the game or something, so that I can get a hint about how this all hangs together, because the Soviet system and how this is structured is quite new. There's still no workers, but then maybe they know there's nothing going on there, so they're not bothered. So I think we should put some mediums in and start getting ready to... No, we're not going to do that, because got that problem where we don't know, literally don't know, how much crops this is going to provide us with. Okay, all right, so maybe we should give a little bit of thought now to what we're going to do. What's that? Why is that black? Oh, I wonder if that's something. We need to give some thought to what we're going to do once the farming industry gets going, because farming is a good thing, but we may need to look at other things. Oh, look at that. There's a bit of oil in there. Not much, but a bit. What else is around? It's interesting, isn't it? Gravel quarry. Oh. Kind of. Not terrific, but kind of. I think, well, yeah, we maybe could do gravel there. What else have we got going on around here? Oh, that's definitely gravel. Yep. Oh yeah, that's gravel. There's a bit of yellow in there, but a lot of green too. Yep. Yeah, that's quite all right. Yeah, so we could get some gravel going on. And gravel goes to make concrete, I believe. So we get gravel quarry and gravel processing. So you pick up the gravel and you make quarried stone. Quarried stone. And where does quarried stone go? Iron mine. Aggregate. Gravel. Quarried stone. Oh. Further, cement plant. 81 tonnes of cement. 22 tonnes of coal. 210 tonnes of gravel. Literally. Makes 75 tonnes of coal. And 75 tonnes of gravel. What? 70 tonnes of cement. Cement tank. 70 tonnes. I don't understand that. Aggregate storage. 75 tonnes of coal and 75 tonnes of gravel. Well, that's not very good, is it? So you can make... Oh, gosh. Right. It's not easy, is it? No. Truck aggregate loading. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we're going to have a look at that later down the path. Okay, so we're going to go and we are going to do that. I think we should also do some animal husbandry, back to our farming thing. And we should look at meat. Now, meat, apparently, you just get a farm. So, 50 workers, 5 tonne of livestock. 5 tonne of livestock. It takes 10 tonnes of crops. And it can store 40 tonnes of crops in its thing. I wonder if we could run, just thinking out loud here, I wonder if we could run a conveyor belt. Conveyor engine transfer process. No, I'm not going to spend $5,000 just to do that. I was thinking of running, if we put the livestock farm here, we could run the food over on a conveyor belt, but that does seem like a lot, doesn't it? It does, really. So when this field is look at that. It actually is growing. That's nice. When this field is harvested and the crops start coming in, I think we're going to have enough to build a farm. I do. And in fact, what I think I would like to do is offline, or off camera I should say, because that's the jargon, I'll wait till this field is ready for harvesting, and when the harvesting starts, then I'll come back on camera and we'll be able to look at both setting up the food factory, getting that functional, and also getting the animal farm going, and also looking at doing some distilling. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, so that's it, everyone. A bit of a talky episode, but we've got some progress going on and we've got a plan for the future going forward, still in our agricultural vein. So it's looking like it's going to we're going to shape up in our little part of the world, being quite a powerhouse, I hope, providing food and alcohol for our neighbours, and also for our own people. So we'll make them happy because there'll be pubs and there'll be meat, and in addition there'll be exports and foreign exchange, because that's what socialism's all about. So stay well, everyone. I hope you enjoy the Gig channel and see the other videos that are there. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.